Welcome back. Today, we're not talking about hackers and hoodies. We're pulling back the curtain on the hidden, corporate world of cybercrime. This is an industry that's evolved from simple digital pranks into a global economic monster.
Just let that sink in for a second. More profitable than the entire global drug trade. That is the insane scale of what we're dealing with today. Let's get started. You know, back in the day, a virus was basically digital vandalism, a prank that might melt your screen or something. But today, it's a trillion-dollar industry. We're talking corporate structures, profit-sharing models. The game is completely, totally changed.
To really get our heads around how this new kind of predator operates, we need an analogy. And honestly, for that, we're turning to the fantastic and frankly terrifying anime Parasyte the Maxim. This story gives us the perfect framework for understanding how malware thinks and, more importantly, how it acts.
So in the anime, this little parasitic spore invades the main character through his hand, and its whole goal is to travel up his arm and take over his brain. Well, malware, that's malicious software, works in pretty much the same way. It finds an entry point, maybe a sketchy email attachment, and it tries to reach your computer's brain, the central processing unit, the CPU, to gain total control.
And once that parasite has leverage, once it has its metaphorical knife to the host's heart, it makes its demand. It's holding your digital life hostage. For ransomware, this is the core threat. Pay me in cryptocurrency, or everything you value on this machine gets destroyed. This isn't a prank anymore, it's a full-blown hostage situation.
But just like in nature, there isn't just one kind of predator out there. The world of malware has a whole family tree of different attackers, and each one has its own unique and pretty nasty way of hunting. So let's meet the family. Okay, first up, the classic virus versus the worm. A virus is a lot like its biological namesake. It needs a host. It attaches itself to a legitimate file like a game or a document. When you run that file, you're also running the virus. But a worm? Oh man, a worm is what keeps security experts up at night. It doesn't need a host, and it doesn't need any human to click on anything. It's a standalone hunter that crawls through networks all by itself, actively looking for new victims to infect. It hunts alone. Then you've got the Trojan horse. Just like the myth, it tricks you by showing up as a gift, a free movie, some useful software. Once you let it in, it opens a hidden backdoor for attackers to come and go as they please. And of course, ransomware. It's the digital kidnapper. It doesn't steal your files. It locks them in an unbreakable vault and then tries to sell you the only key.
All right, now for the part that really shows the industrial evolution of all this. This isn't about some lone genius hacker in a basement anymore. This is about a franchise model. Welcome to the economy of evil.
Let this one sink in. You do not need to know a single line of code to orchestrate a devastating ransomware attack in today's world. The barrier to entry has been completely obliterated.
This is all possible because of something called Ransomware as a Service, or RaaS. Seriously, think of it like opening a Subway franchise. On the dark web, developer groups build ransomware, and then they just lease it out to affiliates. And an affiliate could be anyone from an organized crime syndicate to a teenager in their bedroom. The developers provide the weapon, the affiliate just has to pull the trigger.
And the business model is incredibly lucrative. I mean, just look at this typical profit split. If an affiliate launches an attack that gets a $1 million ransom, they keep the majority, often around 70%, so $700,000. The developers who just supplied the software, they take a 30% cut for doing almost nothing. This powerful financial incentive is exactly why this model has exploded. So what happens when this easy-to-use franchise model gets combined with a weapon of unprecedented power? Well, you get one of the most infamous cyber attacks in history. Let's dig into the story of WannaCry. On May 12, 2017, the world woke up to a nightmare. I mean, look at this timeline. What started as just a few reports in the morning quickly escalated into a global crisis. Within hours, hospitals were being shut down and computers in over 100 countries were infected. The speed was just breathtaking. So it's really crucial to understand what made WannaCry so devastating. First, the weapon itself was a stolen cyber weapon called Eternal Blue, which was developed by and then stolen from the U.S. National Security Agency. Second, its nature. It wasn't a virus, it was a worm, so it just spread automatically. And third, the impact wasn't just digital. It shut down hospitals, it canceled surgeries, and it put real human lives in physical danger. In just a few hours, WannaCry infected over 200,000 computers across 150 countries. This wasn't some targeted attack, it was a global, indiscriminate digital pandemic.
And this just perfectly illustrates the chaos of that day. After all that damage, the attack was stopped, not by a government agency, but by a 22-year-old researcher named Marcus Hutchins who, while just analyzing the code, stumbled upon a kill switch. He accidentally stopped this global attack by registering a single domain name for $10.69. This whole thing raises a really common question. If your files are locked up, why can't we just hire a digital locksmith? Why can't the good guys just crack the code? The answer lies in something called asymmetric encryption. Imagine you've got two keys, a public key that anyone can use to lock a box, and a completely unique private key that is the only thing on Earth that can open it. The ransomware uses that public key to lock all of your files. The only private key that can unlock them belongs to the attacker. The math behind this is so powerful that trying to guess that key is practically impossible.
So this is the critical moment, right? If the lock is mathematically unbreakable and the attackers can be anyone from a state-sponsored group to a kid in their basement, does that just mean we're helpless?
No, because you change the game. You don't try to break the lock, you make the hostage worthless. The only cure for a hostage situation is having a backup.
And this is your takeaway. This is your defense plan. First, offline backups. A backup hard drive that is not physically connected to your computer cannot be infected. If the attacker locks your PC, you can simply wipe it and restore everything from your clean backup. Second, patching. Keep your software updated. WannaCry only worked because it exploited a vulnerability in older, unpatched systems. Updates are what close those doors.
Ransomware is a terrifying reality of our digital world, but it is not invincible. Next time, we're going even deeper. We finally open the weapon case and take a look inside the hacker's toolkit, exploring the software they actually use, like Kali Linux and Metasploit.
But we also want to know, what tech mystery or hidden reality scares you? We are ready to explore the unknown. Tell us in the comments what mystery we should uncover next. No options, no limits. You decide. See you in the next episode.